Hello, hello. Welcome back. It is 2025. There's a glare from the window. I'm gonna move. No, what? 1 second. That didn't work. There. That's somewhat better. Okay. Now I don't have to move. Kinda. Maybe. Sorta. I don't know. Move. Chair. Well, there it is. Not how I wanted to start the video, but here we are. This is the third time trying to start this video. Here we are. Anyway, so sequel time. So, coming out on January 27th, we have two books. We have the standardized edition, paperback edition of Faithfully Yours Mozart coming. So this one will be a 7x10, which I think is supposed to be a standard size rather than the coffee table book. However, the coffee table book will still be available. So if you are one of the few people who is not mean about the size and you don't mind having this, like let's call it a collector's piece of some type, if you don't mind having this is $15 USD. And you can buy this, and it is for those who have print difficulties. That's why the bigger size is here. But a standardized version, a 7x10, will be coming out. Again, I think that's the most standardized version of a paperback as you can get. This is coming, again, in a smaller version, I hope. You know, I mean, that's the hope. But also its sequel. So the bigger sized version of Love's Enduring Symphony, the 8x10, will be out as well on January 27th. And then the rest of the hardcovers are coming out in the spring. So there will be a hardcover for the standardized version of the Faithfully Yours, The Courtship, coming out in the spring. There will be a standardized hardcover version coming out of Love's Enduring Symphony in the spring as well, for both versions. So, and that's kind of the update there as far as like books go. So the sequel for this is coming the 27th of January in the regular sized coffee table editions of the series. Again, what I'm calling the disabled print editions for those who have vision difficulties, like I currently sometimes do. This bigger book is for you. And it's staying, and it's going to be affordable. The first book, this is $15 USD, and its sequel is going to be $12.99 USD. The regular size editions will be $21.99. So, you know, you have your pick. You can either accept that this is how the regular standard, first editions of this series are going to be, and pay $15 USD, or you can be hard-nosed, like some people have been, and you can go and pay $21.99 USD. So, that's how it's going to be. You want a regular sized edition? You want to be mean? Okay, $21.99 USD. I can play that game. It's frustrating when the size is what people care about. What you should care about is whether it's a good book or not. The size of a book doesn't matter. Maybe it's that way because the person who wrote it was struggling with their vision. You ever think of that? You ever think that they were struggling? And that they were just happy that their book was, you know, finally able to be published and in their hands? That's not what today's video is about, but I just wanted to bring it up because I wanted to. And I'm kind of tired of the size being what people care about. And it's frustrating and it's upsetting. So enough about the size. Just read the book. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. The actual subject of today's video is why I choose to be indie, why I choose to be my own editor, why I choose to helm this by myself. So, I have been writing since I was 10 years old. And you know, when you're a child, and you are first learning to do anything, the one piece of advice I would give to somebody is do not laugh at a child. Particularly don't laugh at an autistic child. Because what that will eventually lead to is that child believing that what they're doing is silly. It will lead to that child thinking that what they are doing is a joke. And I did. I thought a lot of what I was doing was a joke, that it was funny. And I used to sit there and I used to believe that my silly stories and my stupid pictures, you know, would never get me anywhere. That I shouldn't worry about publishing, that I shouldn't worry about, you know, because, and how I took that was, it's not good enough. It's not good enough to be published, it's not good enough to be in front of anybody. So when I eventually got around to creating stories and saying enough is enough, you've knocked me down enough, I became very protective. I had negative experiences in college with somebody who had the audacity to sit there and tell me that a story that I had written in under 2 years, over 500 pages in length, wasn't good. And they thought that theirs, you know, they thought because it didn't match up with their standards. That was crooked, and then trying to get rid of that sun. That sun's so bright. Ugh. But they thought that because I wasn't writing to their standards, that my writing wasn't good enough. And I learned to hate my writing for a lot of years. So, when it finally came time that after failing initially to turn this series into an audio drama, although it is one now, and it is slowly coming together after people being difficult, and they know who they are. But after people being impossibly difficult, I finally have an audio drama, and it's beautiful, and the people who have stuck with it since the beginning are so incredible, and they deserve the world, and they deserve this project to be listened to, not for anything that I have created, but for what they have brought to life. Don't let anyone ever tell you that that it is like, don't ever let a director or anybody who's in the creative helm tell you that it's because of them that the show is successful. No, that's bullshit. Yes, YouTube, I said a swear. This channel is not for children. But if to be very transparent, if somebody in the creative seat ever tells you that their project was a success because of them, bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit. It's not true. It is the people who come alongside you who make it come alive. The thing is, you just have to be willing to work with the creative head. You know, you can't come into something to try and make it your own, because you are stepping into someone's vision, but the creative head also shouldn't stifle you. It has to be a partnership. You have to be willing to step into someone's space and listen to them, and then take that clay they give you and then mold it into something beautiful. So it is a two-way street. It is the creative head's vision mixed with the beauties of the talents of those around them that make something successful. And I have a widely beautiful cast who needs to be heard, deserves to be heard, and I will link below the first 3 chapters of the audio drama, audiobook series, Faithfully Yours, Mozart the Courtship, and I implore you, for the love of God, please go and like that video and listen to it and enjoy it with all its beautiful imperfections. Not for my sake, but for the sake of the people who put their blood, sweat, tears, and their hearts into this project. Because that's what matters. They're who matter. They are the reason why I am even here, able to publish this book. Because there was a lot of times where I didn't believe it would be possible. There were a lot of times where I would sit there and go, I cannot believe that this is just going to go unseen, because people won't listen to me. And people won't believe me that I can do this myself. They'll sit there and they'll tell me that in order to be successful, I require an editor, I require a marketing team, I require somebody to do the cover art. I did that myself. I made this. I made this in Canva. I made all the covers that you will see on those books by myself. I did the research myself. A lot, the physical book, I did myself. Nobody helped me. The audio drama, I may have made the edits, but I couldn't have recorded the entire thing by myself. It required an army. A beautiful army of voices that I give all the credit to. And not all of them are on YouTube, but they're on varying social media platforms. And some of them will shout out Jack Morby, who for voicing my Wolfgang in the initial pilot, for introducing me to Amadeus, which allowed me to even begin my research, to Darian Thompson for being the only one to audition for Constanza and voicing her so beautifully, to Geeky Pen, to my friend Emma for being my original Constanza in the pilot, for always standing beside me, and for being such a good friend in the arts all these 5 years I have known her. To Nathan Hall, who has also been my champion, who is in my corner, wise friend of mine. To Sir Rabbitkins, once again, always standing in my corner, a fellow artist. And so many other people. I will shout out my Austrian and German team, who have come on board recently. They are incredible, and they have stepped into some incredible shoes. And I cannot believe that I'm getting a German international book trailer because of these three beautiful souls. Tabea, Mark, and Shadow. I will shout them all out. They are so beautiful and so wonderful. And I thank them for as well championing the book over in Germany, for buying copies, for being so kind to purchase and being my first international customers. They're amazing, and they make me smile. For an international Dutch friend, who I've met recently, who has also purchased the book, I thank them as well. You know, it's amazing what can happen when you have an army behind you, a worldwide army behind you. And there are so many people who I could sit here all day and thank. But like I said, the real purpose of this video is to talk about, I'm going to get off on tangents, but why I want to stay indie. I want to stay indie because people are going to sit there and they are just going to go through my work, and they're going to make changes and edits that don't need to be. They don't need to exist. I submitted something to a conference, an autistic conference, and they changed my submission because they thought they knew better. I did not consent to the changes. They didn't even allow me to. They basically were like, by giving this, you do consent. It's like, well, you didn't ask me. You just assumed that I was stupid enough, you know, not to see that and go, wait a minute, I didn't write this and I don't like it. And I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate having my words changed to fit some perfect narrative that you think that you have to write. When you have someone on the spectrum, and you have their own words are, they don't mean something else. In neurotypical society, we have this idea that words have another meaning. In the neurodivergent world, however, words are what they are. And I have had to learn that words are what they are when it comes to those who are on the spectrum. You will only ever be misunderstood by the neurotypicals of society. You will never be misunderstood by a neurodivergent. Not really. The only misunderstanding we have is that you go looking for subtext when there isn't any. So faithfully yours, Mozart, will never be in the hands of a person who doesn't understand me. I will never allow myself to be demeaned again by people who think they know what I'm saying, by people who want to change and fix and make it their own. This book says exactly what it needs to say in my own words, and in the words of the letters and documents that I utilized in order to build this take on Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. I am staying indie because I refuse to let anyone ever have control over my vision and my purpose ever again in terms of writing and fixing. This doesn't need fixed. It is fine as it is. And subsequently, the rest of the series will be exactly that. And any book that I ever do moving forward will be exactly like that. My words, not yours. And I will pop off on success on my own. I will not waste time nor breath on anyone else. So what does that mean for me? Well, that means that I have to work twice as hard in order to get this book out here. It means I have to take self-care days. It means that my videos will not always be consistent. means I will not always be posting 24/7, but I will do my best and my darndest wherever I am, on whatever platform I'm on, to share this book. And somehow, some way, through my own will and determination and my grit, you know, this and any other books that I do or write or choose to put out there will be my own words. I will never have an editor. I will never have anyone thinking that they can pick, you know, they can pick this up and they're going to sit there and they're going to make suggestions, or they're going to make changes, or they're going to tell me how I should write this story, or any story. For too long, I let people try to tell me how to make me quiet. And I'm no longer quiet. I honestly have no more cares to give about the thoughts and feelings of other people in regards to my writing and how it ought to be. I know I'm good. I know I'm enough. I know I can do this. And sure, it stings some days seeing that I haven't made too many sales recently, but it's only January. You know, Valentine's Day is coming. This, you know, this could be a good book, you know, I mean, amen. Amen. Does your significant other like a romance? Are they autistic? This is Pride and Prejudice meets the world of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. This is Bridgerton for your neurodivergent significant other. A little more tame, but it's still within that sphere, and at times it's more than that, you know. This is something that I think is needed. It's important, you know. And it was written by somebody with lived experiences who would like to be a voice for the unheard, you know? The voice for the ones who have had their words changed, challenged, misunderstood, and then told that they were saying something that they entirely were not. You know, as a neurodivergent individual, you are often made out to be the problem. Funny, so was Wolfgang. And he wasn't a problem. Just as I'm not, and you're not. This book is for the outcasts. This book is for the ones who society never let get above their station. No matter what anyone tells you, he didn't die rich. It's not a myth, it's the truth. Because by modern standards, he wasn't a rich man. He had debts. He had difficulties. He had loss, depression, grief, anxiety, financial woes, fears. Funny, I think we all do in this day and age when everything seems so weird and uncertain. So if you'd like to come along a story that will not hide that, you know, will no longer allow the erasure that has happened of disability in the world of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, then this series is for you. And below you will find the international places where you can buy it. And you will find the Spotify page where you can listen to it. And I hope that you do. I hope that you go and you listen to it. I hope you buy it. I hope that you will be encouraged by it. I hope that you will be encouraged to find your own voice through this story, because that is what it is for. It is about love thriving in the most unexpected of circumstances and being championed and cared for when all seems dark. Even when life gets dark, you will see a pair of characters who champion each other, and even in their falls, even when they do fall, and they do, It's not all rainbows and sunshine with Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, as much as the neurotypical society would like to go, oh, he was so cheerful. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people who hide their depression are. Isn't that funny? I should know. But, if you want to, to come along this journey, I implore you to, and I hope that you will. And until next time, this has been Faith Jacobs. Signing off. Be on the lookout for the sequel, Love's Enduring Symphony, coming out January 27th. And the standardized edition, which is again $21.99 USD for a standard paperback edition of Faithfully Yours Mozart, The Courtship. Once again, they're all international. You can get it on Amazon Germany, you can get it on Amazon Netherlands, you can get it on Amazon Canada, you can get it in the States, you can get it in Japan, you can get it in France, you can get it in Italy, you can get it in England. You can get this book anywhere. It's a very international story, and its sequel is the same thing. So, until next time, I am Faith Jacobs, and I shall see you on the flip side.